This is the Ghost Iced Tea Lemonade. I've never had it. And this is the Deck Tech. We're going to crack it open. And then we're going to get a... Move on. Alright, so... Hear that? Oh, that's always a good sign. It's 7 currently, and I don't know why I am able to drink an energy drink at 7, but I can. So we're going to try it for the first time. And then I'll tell you what I built around and why I built around it. Interesting. So Ghost always does a really good job of kind of nailing the flavor profile of base the flavor around. Like their grape's good, their peach is good. It always tastes very similar to what it's marketed as. And this is iced tea lemonade, which is, essentially an Arnold Palmer, right? It does that well. Oh my gosh, that does that well. I'm not usually a tea drinker, but if you like an Arnold Palmer and you're looking for that caffeine kick more than, Southern tea, that's what we're building the deck around. Because obviously, when you think of tea and you think of an Arnold Palmer, you think of golf, that Southern charm. Or, if you think of tea in general, you could think of the British people. And, I know you're out there, scary as you might be. And you are scary, let me tell you that. Scary British people, that's correct. We're going to be loving our friends so much with this deck that we're going to build a white-blue group hug deck. Because we love our friends, and we want them to experience the Southern charm we're having as we're drinking Southern tea mixed with that lemonade to give us that sweetness, that juiciness we're looking for, right? And the irony is there's no sugar in this, right? Like, that's terrible, because Southern tea has to have so much sugar. And the British, I've been there once, but I'm not a huge tea fan, so it's called blasphemy in the UK, all right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take that Southern charm. We're going to move it around with the British, right? 2 things in common right now. Hospitality, right? We have hospitality, and that is the point of the British. They're good with it. Tea time. They're good at tea time. So are people in the South. They're super nice, right? Midwest, you get that tea. That old lady who's got that tea recipe buried in her pocket, but ironically it's just tea with, 5 cups of sugar, right? You know what I'm talking about. It's just Lipton. And we're going to use the second Doctor. Now, hear me out. Not Southern, right? But it's that mixture of that British idea of hospitality. That's what we need. That's what we're seeking. We're going to make it so everyone has access to their hand at all times. There's no maximum. We want our friends to feel good. We want our friends to feel invited and thriving, right? That's what we're really seeking. And then we're going to happen to every time it triggers. Double it, if possible, right? That's what we're going to do. Now, the second Doctor gives us no maximum hand size. We're all going to be enjoying this game very much. Card advantage, there's no advantage. We all have it, right? But the second ability is what really matters. We're going to give the sweet tea, right? Sweeten them up. Make it so they draw. But then, who's going to attack the nice Southern lady that gave them 5 cups of sugar in their tea? I can't think of anyone. I can't think of anyone who would punch a sweet Southern lady, except for DJ Turkey. But that's a different story, right? You would have to be a crazy felon to punch an old lady who gives you sweet tea. Each opponent's going to want to draw. And I think we're going to want them to draw, right? Okay, every time I build around, we have the theme, we have the color, and we have how do we win. Those are the 3 main components around this series. Energy counters, they matter, right? Energy counter in your life, you're going to fuel yourself up with these energy drinks, right? But the main thing is what color's on the can. What is the drink of choice? What's the theme? What reminds me of this can? And that's the Southern Charm. That's one. The colors, like I said, blue white. Easy choice. Group hug, Southern Charm. We were all thinking the same thing. I get it. But how do we win? Well, that's the age-old problem of group hug. You want everyone to feel like they're a winner. But you need to win, don't you? All right, look. These decks, let me clarify, are not for budget building. But if you're wanting a budget edition, just let me know, and I can recreate another deck built around it. We have 4 main winning pieces. The first is Triskaidekaphile. Triskaidekaphile. Say that 3 times over and over again. I don't think you can. Neither can I. I'm illiterate. That's why I play Magic, right? Because I don't know how to read. Reading the card explains the card. Who agrees with that? I don't think anyone does. So let's read the card so we can explain the card. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Triskaidekaphile. You know, it's a low-cost card. So even if we were going budget, it's 79 cents. Win con, fantastic, right? You get no maximum hand, which is what our commander's wanting to do, right? Even if we didn't have Adric, the mathematic genius, we would still be wanting the second Doctor's ability of no maximum hand. We want options. Now, the second part is the most important part, which is at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 13 cards in your hand, you win. Isn't that cool? I think that's awesome. Paired with that Doctor, that's exactly what we're needing. You want to win. And you want your friends to have a good time. But what's even a better time is having that open mana, is you're going to pay 3 and 1 blue mana. Only 1. But at instant speed, you're drawing a card. Right? You're at 12 cards before your upkeep. You pay 4 open mana. You're floating it. Your friend, who's going to counter a triggered ability in your casual friend group? Right? Who's going to do that? You're going to draw that card and you're going to win. Simple as that. It's not too hard. But if you're worried about that, and maybe you obviously don't draw it, we have other ways to win. And that is with Laboratory Maniac. Now, that's a classic. Right now, it's down to 35 cents. 35 cents is amazing for a win condition. And we're going to be drawing as much as we can, making those deals, making it so we're not the target. Right? That's exactly what we're wanting. We're going to draw our whole deck. I mean, we're going to draw everything we can and then draw out. Our friends aren't going to want to do that, but that's okay. As a secondary, it's just a copy. Right now, this card is a little bit higher in price. We're going to have the Jace Wielder of Minds. Now, Jace Wielder of Minds, it's the same thing. It's a Planeswalker, so it can be attacked. There's some Planeswalker removal. It's expensive. If I was going budget, I'd cut that one out, right? It's around $4, $5. I don't think it's great, right? But in this deck with no budget, not a terrible idea either, okay? Now the last one, oh my gosh. Have your cake and eat it too. You're going to play Approach of the Second Sun. 7 mana to win? No. I think 14 with multiple turns in between. I think that's such a good time. The tension that builds with your sweet Southern Charm of being like, don't worry, I won't cast it. It'll be fine. And your opponents are freaking out because they realize in how many turns? 7 from the top, which you can dig to easy, right? That's the whole point of this deck, is drawing as many cards as we can. We're going to draw it, and we're going to play it. And our friends are going to freak out. And that's the best part of this deck, right? We're freaking our friends out with our kindness. We're killing them with kindness. It's not death by 1,000 cuts. It's death by 1,000 hugs, right? We want to hug our opponents to death. Bear hug, right? That's the way I play. That's such a lie. I don't play group hug. We're playing stacks, but we're giving our opponents a lot to work with. The budget, $205 from Card Kingdom. Now, I'm not going to knock Card Kingdom. I like them a lot. They're reliable. My friend uses them all the time, DJ Turkey. But I use TCG Player because I want the risk of not receiving my cards. That's a joke. For all legal purposes, that's a joke. I use them all the time. All right. I use TCG Player. I like looking at it and being like, technically, my friend gave me a budget. And because I'm in TCG Player, excluding shipping, I'm going to be within that budget. Those aren't surefire ways to win. There's an underlying deck theme, right? We're going to let our opponents draw. We have abilities that trigger once we draw. We're going to cruelly cut a deal, right? We're going to cut some deals, give them some more draws. We're going to promise our loyalty, right? And we're going to let them draw to their heart's content, politic a little bit, and just be like, hey, bud, I love you, right? I love you. Don't hurt me. It never works in my friend group, but it might in yours, right? We're going to have the council of four, right? We're going to draw. We're going to get those knights. We're going to get Prince Emerald the Fair. We're going to get more humans. Basically, we're just going to create a bunch of southern friends that we're going to have our good old tea party with, right? We're going to keep sipping with our friends, sweeten them up, have more friends, because that's what the South does. I mean, if you're not from the South, you're from the British Isles, and when you're in Britain, you conquer everything, right? You're a colonist. Yeah, that's crazy. So the Southern, but in a different way. We didn't have an imperium, right? There is no imperium of man of the South. Just a whole lot worse at points. All I'm saying is this deck, pretty solid, right? We're running 37 lands. We have mechanisms to draw. We're not going to run a whole lot of tutors. I don't think tutors make the game less exciting. And I don't think that's always the best move. I really don't. I think it's more fun to have that thrill of uncertainty. I know you like your statistics and your bell curves that Moxfield gives you. And you know what? I do too. That's a lie. I don't look at the statistics except if it's 4 more colors, right? You're going to have a good old time. You're going to get people drawn, feeling good, feeling like they're winning. And then you're going to be like, look, bro, look, I'm not the enemy. You know it. I know it. I know I'm not the enemy. And it's going to be okay, right? It's just going to be okay. And that's how we're going to win, is we're just going to soothe our friends, lull them into a false sense of security, start petting their hair. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right? But that's what we're going to do. I'm notorious for petting my friend's hair during Magic games. And I know you are too, even if they don't shower. You know, you like that grease running through your hands. I can't believe I just said that. Yikes. This deck's a good time. It fits the Southern appeal. We're going to be drawing cards. We're going to be making tokens. We're going to be cutting deals, right? We're going to become the Monarch because we're going to have Faramir give us the Monarch, and if they don't attack us, we draw a card. If they do attack us, then we get 3 soldier tokens. More friends to party with, right? That's how we brew a deck. That's how this is brewed. I'm not a group hug guy. I know most of you aren't either. But I know you like your energy drinks. I know you like your gamer subs. I know what cups you have, right? I know that you're watching this as you're just sitting in a car on your lunch break. I see ya. Good old Midwestern Southern charm. We win. And it's not the fake kind, right? Because you meant it the whole time. You're giving them gifts. No, this one you meant it to all your friends because you love them. You love your friends. Is this the most complex deck ever? No. But that's not what the series is about. We're here for energy drinks to rate the brew and brew a deck. We did it. We did this. And look, thanks for joining me on this deck tech. We brewed. We conquered. We took a crack at cracking a deck. I don't know what I'm saying. That's okay. We're going to keep talking. That was a lie. It's done.